They were once radiant, angels of light, guardians of heaven's glory, but pride poisoned their hearts. Rebellion spread like fire across eternity, and in one moment everything changed. They fell. Cast from heaven, stripped of their radiance, they became what we now call demons, fallen angels. The Bible describes Lucifer, the light-bearer, as the most beautiful of all creation. But within him grew pride. He declared, "I will ascend into heaven. I will be like the Most High." Lucifer rallied a third of the angels. They rose against their creator, waging war in heaven itself, but Michael and his host stood firm. The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil. From glory to disgrace, from light to darkness, their wings blackened, their light extinguished, they became deceivers, corruptors, destroyers. Demons don't always reveal themselves with horns, claws, and fire. Their greatest weapon is deception. They whisper, they tempt, they manipulate, they feed on human weakness, pride, greed, lust, anger, addiction. Paul wrote, "Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." They exploit broken families, generational curses, and deep fears. Every civilization has known them by name. The Babylonians feared Lamashtu, a demoness who preyed on infants. In medieval Europe, tales of possessions and exorcisms filled the chronicles of the church. Even today, stories persist. Shadow figures, hauntings, possessions, different names, different cultures, same reality, demons. Perhaps their most subtle strategy is convincing humanity that they don't exist at all. Because if you don't believe in the enemy, you never fight back. But their story does not end in power, it ends in judgment. And the devil was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone and shall be tormented forever. The cross of Christ broke their power the moment he rose from the dead. They are fallen, but not victorious. The battle is not only cosmic, it is personal. Each heart becomes a battlefield between voices of deception and voices of truth. The question is, whose voice will you listen to? Because even in the shadows, the light is stronger. Light always overcomes darkness. If you found this journey eye-opening, share this video and subscribe. Do you believe demons are real? This has been Demons, the Fallen Angels. Across history, whispers speak of angels who fell, of spirits of rebellion, and of secret groups who dared to worship them. Who were these fallen ones? And why did some revere what others condemned as demons? This is not an endorsement or a ritual guide. It is a historical inquiry into what people believed, what critics accused, and how fear and fascination shaped cultures. From tablets and apocrypha to medieval grimoires and modern manifestos, we trace the idea of reverence for the fallen across time. If the divine orders obedience, what draws some toward rebellion? Power, protection, or the lure of forbidden knowledge? To begin, we return to the rivers where writing was born. In ancient Babylon and Assyria, people feared spirits like Pazuzu and Lamashtu. They did not love them, but through rituals and offerings, they appeased them. The line between protection and worship was thin. Apotropaic rites sought to ward off illness, infertility, and misfortune. Appeasement was pragmatic, keep chaos at bay. Temple and household spheres overlapped. Priests invoked deities, common people navigated a crowded spirit world. Is appeasement a kind of worship? Language blurs when fear meets devotion. Centuries later, new stories would recast rebellious spirits as angels who fell. Their names would echo from a mountain sworn to secrecy. The Book of Enoch names the Watchers, angels like Semyaza, Azazel, Barachiel, who descended on Mount Hermon. Mainstream Judaism saw them as corrupt, yet fragments of sects and mystics were accused of invoking their power in secret rites. Enochic traditions sat at the margins, influential, contested, preserved in fragments and translations. Stories accuse the Watchers of teaching forbidden arts, metalwork, enchantments, cosmetics, and astrology. Some Jewish and early Christian readers saw these tales as warnings. Others debated their status: history, allegory, or myth. As empires shifted, new philosophies reinterpreted these powers. From secret oaths to secret knowledge, the conversation moved into caves and cells. In the first centuries CE, Gnostic sects spoke of cosmic powers, the archons. To the early church, these were demons, fallen angels. Critics accused Gnostics and later Manichaeans of veiling demonic veneration in philosophy. Many Gnostics saw a flawed cosmos governed by lesser rulers. Not all venerated them, some sought escape through knowledge. Church fathers polemicized, naming heresies, warning the faithful, equating archons with demons, philosophy or blasphemy. The line was contested and dangerous. As centuries passed, names multiplied, seals standardized, and rituals codified. The medieval hand organized the unseen. By the Middle Ages, forbidden texts like the Testament of Solomon and the Ars Goetia cataloged demons: Belial, Asmodeus, Astaroth. Magicians claimed to summon them, to command them, but critics said this was worship in disguise. Texts framed conjuration as command, circles for protection, names for control, offerings for compliance. Was it piety or technology? Language of dominance, gestures of deference. Authorities prosecuted transgressors, real or alleged. Knowledge moved in whispers, handwritten copies, coded indexes, oral lines, even closed, the names lingered. Another tradition echoes with parallel warnings, from refusal and teaching to tests and temptation. In Islam, the Quran speaks of Iblis, the one who refused to bow, and of Harut and Marut in Babylon, teaching magic. Worship of such beings was seen as ultimate rebellion against God, yet history records groups accused of seeking their aid. Texts emphasize obedience and caution, magic as a test, pride as a fall. Some were accused, rightly or wrongly, of invoking jinn and fallen beings for aid. Evidence is sparse, legends multiply. In the modern world, names changed, debates did not. Symbols moved from manuscripts to billboards. In modern times, new groups emerged: Leviathan Satanism, symbolic, not literal worship; theistic Satanists, small circles that revere Lucifer, Belial, Azazel as divine; Temple of Set, interpreting ancient dark gods as sources of knowledge. Not all who use the name mean the same thing: symbolism, devotion, or philosophy. Numbers are small, media attention amplifies myth. For some, these names symbolize autonomy, for others, literal beings. Motivations vary: identity, transgression, curiosity, or a search for power. Modern movements cite old books, but reinvent meaning for contemporary life. Digital spaces spread ideas quickly, communities form and fragment. Public perception swings between panic and parody. In many places, belief is legal, harm is not. Beyond spectacle, the question remains, what draws a person to the fallen? Across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, such practices were condemned as heresy. Worshipping fallen angels meant siding with rebellion itself, yet fascination endures, because darkness always tempts. Texts warn against sorcery and pride. Communities teach vigilance. Fear, taboo, and curiosity intertwine. Prohibition can make the forbidden alluring. Warnings persist, but the questions persist too. From Mesopotamian demons to modern occultists, humanity has wrestled with the question, why would anyone worship the fallen? To some, they represent fear. To others, forbidden knowledge. But in every tradition, their legacy remains, a warning of what it means to rebel against the divine. Across eras, the fallen shift names and meanings, but the debate endures: command versus curiosity, obedience versus autonomy. If this opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe. More untold histories await.
Every day, life reminds us. Our greatest struggles are not against people. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. This battle is bigger than arguments or betrayals. It is deeper than human opposition. The real fight is unseen, targeting your peace, your vision, and your spirit. That's why you must stay awake. Guard your mind, protect your spirit, stand firm. Your weapons are not fists or anger, but prayer, discipline, and vigilance. These make you unshakable, even in the storms you cannot see. Be vigilant, be prayerful, for that is how you win battles beyond flesh and blood.